How badly did you guys get affected with
You
COVID?
know,
Because you went through it, but you survived. But how, if it had went longer than what it did?
we would have been okay. And I think it's because the model of our business, we have dine-in, carry-out, and delivery. And so we had to get rid of dine-in. Obviously, we weren't allowed to do dine-in, but our customers, when you already offer those things, you're not retraining your customers to think of you in a certain way. Like, then you saw other restaurants, right, that don't do carry-out and don't do delivery are now offering it because they have to stay alive. And I think that's a bigger hurdle because now you're trying to get people to think of you to call it. Like I remember some of the Mexican restaurants were doing like margaritas to go and really being really creative. And you have to like sort of, if your customer doesn't already expect that from you, to sort of teach them that. And so for us, it wasn't so bad. And because we do a lot, like I really felt like the community rallied around us and they supported us. And so what we had to do was we had to cut back on hours, but what we did is we did maybe some of the teenagers who were just like working, and we made sure that we kept, the adults that counted on the income to keep their families afloat. We made sure that we prioritized like who was a part-time job and so we were able to we didn't lose anybody. We were able to keep everybody with the money coming in and stuff. And Brownsburg is a wonderful town. And so people would come in and they would tip, so my servers, even though they weren't making tips from tables, they would still leave making the same amount as they normally would waiting on tables because people were so generous and wanted to, you just want to spread kindness any way you can. So we did okay. The following year was 2021 really was hard because that's when the supply chain issues came into effect. So now suddenly we weren't able to get in our stuff. And I remember, we have trucks that come maybe 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and they come and you're supposed to be there by 5. Well, I remember, they would just not show. And sometimes you would just come, they didn't show at all. And now we don't have any cheese or pepperoni, because they weren't able to come because these companies weren't able to hire enough truck drivers, because the thing with the truck drivers is they have to have downtime. So if they've already put in their X amount of hours, even if they don't want to, they have to stop. They can't keep driving. Safety issue. So now you're stretching it thin with less drivers, and they can only work so many hours. One night, this is a testament to my husband, our truck came really late. We were the last stop, not the last stop of deliveries, but the last one that they could make. So what my husband did was he and the food rep met the truck, and my husband loaded up supplies for other pizza places. There's another pizza place, and he went and delivered it to them because the truck, they weren't going to get it otherwise. That guy had to go back to his hotel.
Community service.
So he and the rep, so the rep had a small car, but my husband has a truck. They loaded up my husband's truck, and my husband was out till midnight, 1 a.m. dropping off pizza supplies at other pizza places.
Did the other pizza places knew that your husband?
Probably. I'm at home with the kids, but I'm sure they did. He just, that's what you do, right? We're a helper. We're all in this together. I think it was Pasquale's. I can't remember. There was a couple, but he was like, I know what it's like. I know how devastating it is to not get the product that you need. If I can help them, I'm going to do it.